Whoa. A draw to remember.
No, usually we're such hard task masters, very tough to please us. And usually we reserve all the praise for some outstanding victories. But I must say, certain draws need to be celebrated and appreciated like victories. And truth be told, this draw in Manchester is one such performance. So well done to Shubman Gill and his young brigade. Well done to the Indian team on the whole. Well done to everyone who's involved. Because from a position, and truth be told, all of us, and I'm not going to, shy away from it. End of day 4, the discussion was, when will the match end? Or even day 3 that started. Post-match will happen now, next day. And when we sat here yesterday, 70% I think both of us had given.
I said 65 to England.
I said 70 for an England win. Because even though you had shown some fight, it was going to be a tough ask to survive 3 sessions. And not only have India survived 3 sessions, they've survived it handsomely.
6 sessions, when you look at it.
Yeah, and losing only 4 wickets.
4 wickets.
That is some.
And that too, 2 in the first over.
2 in the first over, exactly.
And over the course of the next 5 sessions, you only lost 2 more wickets.
This is some brilliant rearguard action. I think it will go in the annals of Indian cricket as one of India's finest comebacks. And even though it's not ended in win, and I think the common sentiment is that it's a great escape. I know everyone is saying it's a great escape, but I would actually not say it's a great escape, because great escape would have been had India really been on the wall, down and out, almost losing, like Lord's type of the situation, and last wicket somehow, saved you. Like that Monty Panesar game comes to my mind.
Australia, England, Ashes,
Correct.
Anderson and Panesar together. Yeah.
Correct. That's a great escape. Here, it's not so much of an escape in the sense the Indian teams fought them toe to toe. They've gotten 114, and I know there's not enough time, but I'm saying had this been on day 4 and there was more time, you could have looked at 300, 350 run lead and then put pressure on England. So I will not say it's a great escape. I would say it's a fantastic comeback by the Indian team, a performance for the ages. And where we were sitting and saying 3-1, 4-1, whatever, fact of the matter is it is 2-1 right now. And if India can pull off a stunning performance at the Oval, there is a good chance you go back 2-2. And when was the last time you did 2-2? The last time you traveled.
2021.
And imagine how much bullish we were or praising we were of that Indian team and how proud we were of that Indian team's performance. I know you lost the last test match, but overall, it's one of the fine overseas series, right? When you look back at it. Imagine for this team where that almost been down and out, where it was 2011 comparison and so on and so forth.
That aged well.
That really aged well, yes.
to comparison with the last series.
Yep.
21,
Yeah.
So India are on the cusp of doing an Australia. Last 2 series that they've come here, 2019 and also 2023, 2-2. Drawn series are becoming the new norm in England at this point in time. But yes, Manchester showed that application, grit, determination, if anybody shows it, you can achieve a lot of spectacular results. You unfortunately didn't have it in Lords, and that is why the only difference from what we have seen in the past, for example, Sydney, Napier, Port Elizabeth, Lords, Nottingham,
even Manchester 1990.
Manchester 1990 and all that, but I'm not counting 1990, just immediately in the 21st century that we have seen at this
early
point
2000s
in time.
And then after that,
Yes. Here, you have lost the chance to win a series, but then you are the hope that you're alive in the series. And that itself, for a team in transition, is a great, great achievement indeed. So you're at least going 3 days later to Oval. I can make it 2-2. And my series prediction seems to be coming true suddenly all of a sudden. No 3-1, or not 4-1 at least. Not 3-2.
None of
Could
us
be.
said 4-1. Nikhil and I said 3-1.
3-1.
That's still a possibility.
That is possible. But
this Indian team, it's looking like they'll do 2-2.
and
Who knows?
looking at the last...
Or even 2-1.
And that's still a good result if that happens. Yeah.
But why I'm saying India may have even more momentum, not because of the way how they batted. Those last 20 minutes might have fried England mentally.
What did you make of that whole bit? I want everyone's opinion. Where England offer a shake hand, but India refuse.
Great. I mean, there is nothing written in the rules by which, 1 hour to go, 15 overs, immediately you have to come off.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
But I think the point is that if it was indeed moving towards a draw, and for both teams, that's when you shake hands. I know it's no part of the rule, and both teams have to agree, only then you shake hands. And India were also looking at a draw only. There was nothing
Exactly.
else. So,
but you had two guys who hadn't scored a century in England for a very long time. Okay, Jaddu.
He scored a century in 2022, the 5th test that was rescheduled.
Washington never has had a century. So what is stopping me from feasting on runs when I know that there is no result possible? And what is the talk about the spirit of the game? I heard some on-air commentators, spirit of the game. Are you kidding me? I have done all the hard yards. I have saved the match. I have every right for 100. And I have every right to refuse your hand of draw. Why? Even in chess, if I feel I'm in a winning position, when every engine, everything will say it's a draw, it's my right. I'll push for the win. I'll get a blunder out of you.
no, that's separate. Siddharth, you think there is a win there. But in this case, the argument is that even you knew it's going to be a draw.
But milestone.
Milestone, okay.
Milestone.
So it's not about that win.
Yeah.
Like you talk about chess, it's more a milestone.
Milestone. Winning or losing in this stage is irrelevant. So I'll prioritize the next big thing, my milestone. Why not?
Okay, so it's clearly not gone down well with the English team. I could hear the commentary where I think certain English players, I don't know who, but they could be heard saying, so how much are you going to take? Another hour to get to your 100 and things like that. So there were a few nasty comments that were coming the way of the Indian players. I don't know. I mean, the way I looked at it, that last 15-20 minutes seemed like a farce to me. And I'm not blaming any one team for it. And you're right. Maybe, the Indian team had the right to go for personal milestone. The England team had the right to shake hands. But then when you had like a Harry Brook bowling, and then he's bowling lollipops, and then Jadeja is hitting boundaries of that, I just felt that, I don't know, it left a bad taste in my mouth. That's not test cricket.
+1.
Because, throughout this test match, you've had such a good contest between bat and ball, and both teams have given their best. Some of the finest, one-on-one battles you've seen. And suddenly you reach the situation where it seems like a circus. It seems like what do you call, one of those charity games sort of a thing. England's getting these thing, and they're also mocking you. Okay, I'll give you lollipops. You go hit them. Not even spreading the field. Hit them, take your fours, be happy. So they're mocking you to get to your 100. Indian players are in their right saying, no, I don't get those many opportunities to get a test 100, and I agree. Test 100 is a test 100, so they're hitting it. But I just don't, that whole entire finish, I'm not blaming anyone in particular.
Yeah.
And if you look at it, I understand India's point of view, as I said, for these players to get to their 100. I also understand England's point of view. And if I was to play the devil's advocate, I have a feeling that England wouldn't have done this.
Yeah. See, I basically +1 to what you have said. But in a way, I agree with Siddharth also that Indian batters, they had the full right to just be there, get to your 3-figure marks. But personally, I'm not big on individual milestones. You have stayed at the crease as a partnership for about 40, 45 odd overs, even 50 overs. You've scored about 80, 90 odd unbeaten. there's no need for you to even get to that 3-figure mark, because any which ways in the history books, when it is written that India achieved a miraculous draw against Manchester, obviously those hundreds in front of both Jadeja and Washington Sundar, they look good, but even those gritty 80 or 90 odds, they look even better for that matter, or if not even better, pretty much similar to scoring 100, because the ultimate deal was to draw the test, and they were able to do that. So what's the need of even going for those personal milestones?
Gamesmanship.
That's where I agree. What gamesmanship? You really want to make sure that England come into the 5th test rattled. I don't think that's going to happen with this
Not
England
rattled,
team.
frustrated mentally.
No, I
Just
don't
because of
think
the last
it did
20
the job
minutes.
of frustrating. It would
Exactly.
if they were also coming hard at you. They employed their
Not even part-timers.
part-timer. Like, okay.
Joe Root is
you
a
want to get
part-timer.
100?
Yeah.
Go here. I'll give you some. It's like saying you want to do it, and I say I'll give you 100. Go get it. I'm also mocking you. I'm not saying either team is right or wrong. I'm just saying as a spectacle, which is such a fantastic test match, which had like such
An
highs,
anticlimactic
lows.
conclusion.
Yeah, like it was a farce at the end.
Last
And
4-5
I have a
overs
feeling
were not needed.
Yeah, I mean, I have a feeling England wouldn't have done it. I mean, maybe it's a different. And I'm not saying India is wrong not to do it, but I think it's a different approach. England probably wouldn't have gone for the India, because for me, honestly, like I'm just looking at, forget anything else. We started the show with clapping, right? And I will remember this rearguard action from a KL Rahul, a Shubman Gill, a Washington Sundar and Jadeja. Mad respect for them. Salute. All 4 of them have really, stepped up where they needed to. You can look at comparison, Port Elizabeth, you said, Napier, various examples that come to your mind. And we remember those games for, India fighting. And I'll remember this game as well. And I remember all these 4 players. Whether Jadeja reached that 100 or Washington reached that 100, I am not respecting them any more than I would have had they been in 90. My respect and my salute to them would have been there in the 90 as well. I'm just saying, it's a minor thing. This doesn't change much. Match would have been a draw. But I'm just saying,
When it doesn't impact the result, when a loss or a win isn't at stake, I think you take this.
So it's if I were to give an example, it's like sometime like a football game where 2 teams have really given it their best till about 70-80 minutes, and then they get to know that now whatever their score line is, 1-1 for example, if they maintain 1-1, both qualify for the next round because that other game has gotten over. Then they start playing that farcical sort of a match where both teams are not trying to score a goal or concede. Both teams. There have been
82 World Cup.
There have been many, like in multiple tournaments, continental. And then you see like such a good game happening for 70, 80, and suddenly now we're both happy. Draw will take us both. And then they start, playing amongst themselves. It just is not a finish leaves a good taste.
I'll quote an example, and you're absolutely right when you say this thing that England would not really have gone for those personal milestones. 2011, let's go back to that. In an England versus Sri Lanka ODI at Lords, Dinesh Chandimal, he needed about 2 or 3 runs to get to 100. It was an ODI. Angelo Matthews, he batted for 21 balls and he scored just 1 run. And England, they were not happy with the strategy that Sri Lanka employed. Although Chandimal got that 100, but in the very next match, it was I think a rain-curtailed match. England had to chase about 180 or 90 odd. Craig Keyspater and Alistair Cook, they were opening. Cook was about to get to his 100 and there wasn't any weather around at that particular point in time. But then he told Craig, go for your shots, my 100 does not matter. And he remained unbeaten on 95.
I think they won that match by 10 wickets, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
The final ODI that happened.
As I said, there's no team which is right or wrong. I think it's just a difference of culture and how you approach it. Maybe different teams would do it. Anyway, this is not really the core issue. I think the fantastic bit and the biggest talking point is going to be how India have made a comeback. So, from that position, 0 for 2, staring at Mount Everest. At that point when you're 0 for 2, okay, fine, end of day 4, we are still giving them 30%, 40%, you're giving 45% for India to do a draw. But at that time, 0 for 2, none of us are giving them more than 10% chance of drawing that game. From there, for India to do what they have done, what a tremendous effort.
I think in the last 3-4 years, I'm sure that, I have been wrong on many occasions when it comes to predictions. In fact, several occasions. But I have never felt this proud at being wrong this time around. I'm so proud of the fight that, this Indian team has put in. when you were 0 for 2, and you and I were in the studio at that time when Sudarshan and Jaiswal fell in quick succession, and the look that we both gave to each other was pretty much similar to what had happened in 2011. Like, it could be a meek surrender. India could lose this by innings defeat. We are discussing different things. Now and yes, slightly in a way the conditions also aided them, because the invariable bounce that was there in this Manchester track, it wasn't really threatening. Like, there were just a few deliveries which would have that extra bounce, or which would keep low, similar to that of KL Rahul. Like, he was slightly unfortunate after all the hard work that he had done. He deserved a century, but was undone by a delivery that kept low. I think overall it is a magnificent effort by India to bat out these many overs, even on a track that was pretty much similar to being a belter of a surface. I think that still requires a lot of guts, for that matter. That requires a lot of concentration, patience, not to go for your shots, not to be that risky, not to be that aggressive, maintain that perfect combination of aggression and discipline. I think India have done it pretty well, and that's really going to bode them well for the 5th test. I'm sure we're going to talk more about which team would be in a better position heading into the 5th test, but I think India have gained a solid advantage.
Firstly, kudos for such an epic fight back. You have 3 centurions, 103, 101, 107.
Remind me what you said, that tea time will be post-match show.
That was...
I was all prepared.
That aged well.
That also aged well. A lot of things aged well in this test match for all of us. But yeah, you have had a wonderful escape and you're still alive in the series. So there is plenty of interest heading into the Oval. It's not a dead rubber, thankfully. So all 4 tests have gone the distance. The 5th test also, the series has now gone the distance.
All test matches, final session.
Yes. Yeah. And you're gearing up for something pretty similar, because Oval also you'll have very similar conditions. But Gill, the batter, undid what Gill, the captain, missed tactically. So yes, as I said, there were 2 names in the series that had coined slow overrate series. We haven't had a single complaint about that. And it's a missed opportunity series also for India now, because see, I'm looking at the broader picture. What we are all talking about, the other draws, it at least gave you hope in a series. Here, your only hope is to stay alive. Except Port Elizabeth. Lords, you drew, but you won the series in 7. Napier, you drew after winning the first test and then you won the series. Same I can say for even Sydney. 2021, you drew Sydney, you won Gaba. Now you can only draw the series. And again, this was a missed opportunity at day 3, day 2, day 3, when England just simply piled on the runs. England did to India on day 4 what India are doing now on day 5. So Gill, the captain, undid all the bad things, which was clueless captaincy, tactical planning and everything, by Gill, the captain. So yes, you will feel slightly bad about the fact that if only our bowlers had stuck to a plan. If Gill, the captain, had been more proactive. If only our batters had not frozen in the first innings. Because this pitch remained a belter throughout.
Well, what happened to the pitch though? I mean, when KL was batting and Gill were batting to begin with a new ball, it seemed quite dangerous, and I thought it will get progressively worse. But it was a beauty to bat on throughout the day. You were talking about day 5.
But that's been quality of Duke's ball, which got softer quickly, and the movement just went.
Trend with Manchester, no?
Yeah.
That in the last, I think 5 to 7 years or so, pitches have flattened out. It's pretty much similar to the surface that you get in New Zealand.
Wellington.
The first couple of days, you have some kind of assistance, although there's much more assistance in New Zealand conditions. Last 2 or 3 days, completely belter.
Okay, a lot of people also inquisitive, and I could see that on social media, saying that why wouldn't India, when it's talking about ending the game, give them 60 minutes of hell. You've taken a 100-run lead, and
I think India did not.
They couldn't have scored 160, so you can't lose the match.
Absolutely. See, if it was about handing a mental blow, India have already done it.
Could they have given them 60 minutes of hell and
maybe
and won the match?
Maybe. I'm not going to deny
Maybe.
that. Maybe.
Won the match, India.
No, not won the match, but maybe given that 60 minutes of hell, you're not sure, whether you can
And
win
take 10 wickets.
a
like
match
some
in 60
amazing-
minutes, unless you're Josh Hazelwood and you're leading that
Bumrah,
36 all-out thing. No, I don't think
36.
so. That wasn't, would not have happened.
Or to just give like psychological, you're talking about. No?
I think you've already gained that. There was no need for India to even, get on with their fast bowlers, maybe get a few wickets and reduce England to 25 for 4 before you actually shake hands. That was not required. You've actually tired them out in this match. There is a very short turnaround for the next, for the final match of the series here. You've already batted 143 overs. That's an enough mental blow that you have handed to England. So I don't think.
What
that
did
was
you make
required.
of a suggestion made by none other than Mr. Gavaskar saying that bat for the remaining 40-45 minutes that were left, bat, mental blow?
It's already been done. It wasn't required at all.
They could have. I mean, nothing was stopping them.
Yeah, they could have, but
England could have only gotten frustrated, which have given us more glee. That's okay.
I feel, and even I think you also feel, that the centuries were also not required from
you
both.
could
Nah, then there was no point in even batting until 10:30, 11.
I'm asking, so there can be various opinions. No?
But I think not enough time. The conditions also didn't allow you to give you 60 minutes of hell. Plus, the executioners of that hell are themselves suffering hell.
They must be in ice baths already.
Exactly.
So they're like, who's going to bowl?
I know.
I'm not getting it.
Anshul is injured. Jaspreet, he's definitely now, that's it. We have
Siraj
seen.
is also is a doubtful starter. He also had an ankle issue. Mone Morgan
Exactly.
pointed that.
Jaddu,
You need Akashdeep to be fit.
Jaddu and Washington, trial by spin, 60 minutes. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Now we'll see. We have 3-4 days to talk about the next test match. I'm going to stick to this test match. Now, what do you make of it? And we have been also very vocal critics of, not playing all-rounders for the heck of it. And you're compromising either your bowling or batting in certain situations where you're going for bits and pieces, quote-unquote, cricketers. Do you think the Indian think tank, which would be of the captain and the coach, who have continued to have this, would stand vindicated? Because while the criticism was there, why do you have to have, like, play Kuldeep? Why do you have to have, batters like bowlers? You can just chip in like Shardul, Washington, Jadeja. There were talks like that. Maybe they stand vindicated that today, look at these two all-rounders only, who knows, after, because you were also doubtful after Gill and KL got out, that you could have a collapse. You're only getting into all-rounders, and they had enough time to do it, but they're not. And now 2 test matches where this strategy has kind of worked for them. One a draw here, and that Edgbaston win as well. All-rounders chipped in. Lords, which you lost, but once again, you had some sort of a rearguard action by Jadeja, was an all-rounder. So do you think they are in a way feeling vindicated, that doesn't matter what people on the outside are saying about playing, bowlers that can bat a bit and vice versa, that is working for us?
Did it even matter when they were losing? It didn't.
Yeah, sure, but does this now give them a bargaining chip to continue with this?
It's crystallized now. This approach, because you've staged a great escape, this is how it's going to be, the great escape at Manchester. It's only going to ensure this continues. It's not going to change. And that is why specialists will continue being in the back door. What was it? Safety first approach. We want to pack our batting until number 8 and 9. That is why Kuldeep Yadav couldn't make it, because his batting just wasn't up to the mark. Shardul's 41. Look at how all your bits and pieces are performed in this particular test match. Shardul in the first innings, 41, very vital runs. Sundar looked assured. Sundar's got an 100. Jaddu's now got 4 50s and a century. What more do I want? Nitish got you 3 wickets at Lords. Didn't do well with the bat, but then you got a replacement in Shardul anyways. Your 3 all-rounders have done very well in Manchester, and that is why this thought process that the management currently has been crystallized. They will continue with it. They are not going to go away from it.
Sure. So this is what my question was. You think this now gives the management a bargaining chip to continue doing that? And even if there was any sort of resistance from, let's say, within the BCCI or any other people in the think tank, that now can be put aside. But I want to know your opinion. You're okay with that? I mean, you're
Honestly,
ready to change your mind because of the results that are coming? What does that
honestly, I am not okay with it.
You're not ready to change your mind. But the results are coming.
But have you won a series? Just because you drew a match, but the larger picture is you lost a series. You're not going to win the series. Simple.
Draw a series. That in
You
itself,
can draw,
you
but
only won 3 series in your entire history in England. Yeah.
But did you win BGT with this? You didn't. What if you don't win Oval? A 3-1 score line is far worse than a 2-2 score line. Let's be very honest about it. You've now had 2 series with this kind of thing against 2 top teams, 10 tests in total, and you've registered only 2 wins so far. 9 tests, you've registered only 2 wins. This is a draw. Is it giving me success? It's only giving me sporadic success. It's not giving me sustained success. So, what am I looking at? I think this management has put on the horse's blinkers. I'm only looking here. I don't care what is left. I don't care what is right. This Manchester result will vindicate them and say, yes, it worked here. What are you talking about? You're not watching cricket?
Edgbaston as well. You won that.
You won Edgbaston. But with the same approach, I will only focus on the positives. I won't focus on negatives. We lost Leeds, so what? We lost Lords, so what? We lost Sydney, so what? Melbourne, Adelaide, so what? This kind of situation is only going to develop because you are just not confident with any of your units. You're not confident in the batting, you're not confident with the bowling.
I think it's more a case of not being confident with your batting. I think that's the reason you're getting it. In fact, you're more than confident with your bowling, which is why you're taking bowlers who don't necessarily can win you games. I mean, one-off good performance can be, but I don't think consistently. Because if you're really underconfident about your bowling, you would have got a Kuldeep in. You did not. Because you primarily know that it's a batting that needs to be covered, and so you are trying to push, batters, as many batters as you can towards the end. And it's to be fair, it's kind of worked for you, just as I mentioned, in this short span, or at least in this series, on occasions it has. I mean, Shardul Thakur is a classic example that you're not giving him any overs. So there can only be 2 reasons. If you don't give him any overs, don't play him, but you're still playing him and not giving him overs. That can only tell me that you'll think he's a fantastic batter, or he's a much better batter than a lot of other bowlers there. So we're going to, utilize his batting. So you're taking buffer for that.
Somewhere down the line, I think, this is the focus. Out of the 9, we have won 2, drawn 2. We are happy. The 5 losses doesn't matter for us.
No, I don't think they can be happy with that.
Then what is giving them the logic of continuing with the setup?
I don't know. Maybe again, they felt that previously it was they needed to have a transition. Now they've had the transition, so they thought with the same approach with the transition they can do better. I mean, this actually, I think this test match is about comparing previous test matches. I don't know, for some reason this test matches had so many different hues that we've found some comparison with some test match or series. And so keeping in with that tradition, it also kind of reminded me of the Boxing Day test match where India had to save the test.
24,
they had to save the test, and you did have to begin with some sort of resistance, but then eventually you had a collapse. I think
second session you didn't lose a single wicket, then you lost 7 for 34.
Correct, those 7 wickets. So I mean, it was kind of similar. You could have saved that match if you hadn't lost those many wickets there as well. So in that sense, it was a similar match, but I see a better lesson learned from that situation where you ensured. I'm sure they must have. See, this is the core of the team. Some of those players, I think both Washi and Jadeja, both part of that test match.
Which?
Melbourne.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So see, I mean, having gone through that situation, faced that, I'm sure it must have played on in their mind. They thought about it and they did something better. So credit where credit is due.
I think
credit due, but then again, bowling attack comparison. better bowling lineup. This wasn't a better bowling lineup.
No, plus also the pitch. It's still...
That was far more competitive than this turgid. You lost 24 wickets only in the 5 days here. You only lost 24 wickets. There, you lost wickets and there was more help and spice.
I think the point is that results at the end of the day, results matter. Like even you and I were also discussing that even if India would have lost this test, then we would not have really talked much about the fight that India would have shown, because it's the results that matter, and they would have been 3-1 down, assuming they would have lost this. What I can infer from this keeping more all-rounder strategy is that they are improving. This wasn't the same thing in Border Gavaskar Trophy. On a couple of occasions you surrendered, like the Melbourne test that was just pointed 7 for 34. But now what is happening in England is that you're not really sure of your batting. That's fine. You have then, Jadeja, Sundar, there is Shardul Thakur, and they are giving those more than useful contributions. So what it has done to India is that there has been some improvement in the strategy that they want to persist with for the next maybe few test series or so, and see where this all-rounder strategy is taking them as a team, as a test team. But the point is that this question, I feel that it would really be best answered once the Oval Test finishes. What's really going to be the result of that Oval Test? I think maybe after that, that's when this question would be best answered.
Okay.
Because if it is 3-1, then once again it's going to be posing questions that are India moving in the right direction? And if you go in 2-2, then maybe it's going to instill some belief in the fans and maybe the experts also that, okay, this is a different strategy that India have adopted. You need to have more all-rounders, and maybe that's how modern day test cricket has to be played.
Somehow, see, I think you're only going to focus on the positives. As I said, 2 wins, 2 draws.
But I don't think this team is going to be like that. I'm 110% sure that there are going to be discussions about what were the problems in the Manchester test. Why the bowlers leaked 669 runs? What were the other problems that you had? Why is Jaiswal having those second innings problems? Why is he not really scoring when it really matters the most? So I think these are the points that are going to be mentioned. About Jaiswal, I told you, first innings in England, in the 4 test matches here, he is averaging more than 60. Second innings, he has scored only 32 runs in 4 innings.
Well, I in fact, on the contrary, believe not much discussion should happen. Because what happens with the Indian team, they do a lot of discussion and then they make wholesale changes. Just let it be. Just okay, fine. You fought hard, good decisions, bad decisions, good phases, bad phases. Don't discuss. Go with that team, go to Oval, finish this series, then sit and decide. The problem is there's so many discussions, and that's why every test match, you're a little fickle-headed and you're making those changes. Anyway, for you, what is now that we look back at this test match, biggest takeaways, 2-3 big takeaways from this test match?
From India's perspective? Yeah.
Could be anything.
Okay. I think this is number one and the most important for me, KL Rahul 2.0. It's happening. He is your best batter in this series. He showed it. I think it was his 4th consecutive 50 plus score in the test matches that he has played in England this time around. He is here to stay, and the best part is that he has been given that clarity. He is now the senior batter of the team, and he is stepping up when it is needed. So KL Rahul 2.0 is definitely here to stay. Second point, Shubman Gill, the innings that he played in the second innings. I think that basically marked the arrival of Shubman Gill, the test batter. He can change gears, and that's what he showed here. When you needed some kind of patience, when you needed him to bat for overs and overs so as to make sure that you could save this test, he stepped up. Although, there was a slight lapse in concentration, but it can happen to even the best also. Third, I think
Washington Sundar, the all-rounder, is here to stay.
Yeah, that is like
2 wickets.
That is your takeaway.
Yeah, that's your takeaway. But mine is, I think you might have to take a call on Jasprit Bumrah. Because, see, we all can talk about how Anshul Kamboj was a flop, how Jadeja continues to be a flop in bowling, that can still be a takeaway, that can still be a good talking point for that matter. How Ben Stokes has been brought into form by Indian bowlers. But I think the third point for me is Jasprit Bumrah. He is a worry. The speedometer, it does not lie at all. I think for the 33 overs that he bowled in the only India's bowling innings, there was only one delivery that crossed 140 plus. The speeds are dipping. He wasn't really at his best. For the first time, he leaked over 100 runs in innings. But I'm sure that, anyone and everyone can have a flop test. That's not a problem at all. But with Bumrah, I think you probably would have to take a call after this series as to how you manage his workload, what do you do with him, what are the test matches does he play, because after the Oval Test, India do not travel overseas for a test assignment. That's going to happen now in late 2026 when they tour New Zealand for a 2-match series.
Sri Lanka, August 2026.
Yeah, that's still in subcontinent. I'm talking about,
New Zealand, October, November.
Overseas conditions. Bumrah, even if it doesn't go to Sri Lanka, I think you'll still have enough resources because spin, will more than likely, do the job for you. So, third point is obviously Bumrah, although Shubman Gill in the post-match presentation has said that for the Oval Test, they'll have to wait and see whether, Bumrah plays or not. But I think it's about the long-term future.
He's not going to play.
Yeah, obviously he's not going to play. I'm just, referring to his quote that he has said. Even I don't feel that he's going to play. But that's one thing that India will have to take care of. They'll need to have a discussion with him. And because that's basically going to change the landscape of Indian cricket, whatever decision comes out of it.
For me, Washington Sundar, the all-rounder, is now here to stay. He will play the Oval Test match. 2 wickets. Getting him on late was a tactical blunder. With the bat, he's shown application, and that is why he will play the Oval Test match. So Kuldeep continues to sit out. Because the only way how Kuldeep could have fit in was Sundar had failed. That's not happened. So Kuldeep, because they have more confidence in Sundar the batter, Sundar the bowler, Kuldeep will sit out. The second takeaway for me is maybe one more chance for Sai Sudarshan.
He's just scored a 50.
But he got out on a duck.
No.
Second innings.
See, I'll go back to it. There's not a question of chance or anything. As critical I was of hurrying him into Test cricket, I would also be critical if you drop him now. Come on, yeah. He's got a chance now. You dropped him after one test. Now he's come back. Now he's just played one more test. You drop him. This is the problem. You can't do that. Now you've given him a chance. You got to play him. Simple as that. You got to play him a few more test matches. I don't know what happens beyond the England tour, but he has to play. That's a no-brainer. He has to play Oval.
He has to play. But then the other two takeaways, I would say Shubman, yet again, I think he started answering the questions as far as playing on tough conditions is concerned. This 103 was that. The only question is, how many records can he break? 774, 810. I don't think he's going beyond that. I don't think 974 can be achieved. But yeah, Shubman Gill, the batter, will forever remember this England tour as a changer, a game changer in his career. Tougher assignments will await him in October. But until then, you're playing in the subcontinent primarily, you will achieve success. So Shubman Gill, this tour, irrespective of what happens at the Oval, it's been a game changer for him. That's the biggest takeaway from this knock that I've had it. KL Rahul, again, 90 undone by the only brute of a delivery in this innings. When you look at it, 500 plus runs, that's what stability can do. I hope the Indian team realizes that. But then, as far as your Bumrah question is concerned, yeah, Manchester was the last we saw of him. And
last we saw him in this series.
In the series, yeah. But there is a lot of this retirement talk swirling around now. And I don't know why there might be some credibility to it. For how long can a team revolve around a player whose fitness is dodgy? And we've seen he can't play 4-5 tests in a series. How much of an arrangement can you make of him?
No, but I said this 2 days ago. I said it here that I am not sure that, again, he is still the best fast bowler in the world. I will maintain that, all format bowler in the world. But the problem with that is that because he cannot play and the physical demands on him is so much. He plays the IPL, white ball cricket, test match cricket. Now you're having long tours. And the amount of overs that are expected to be bowled out of him. And if he's going to play a few test matches, it just, upsets your overall plan. So you might as well go with a bowler that's maybe a notch below him, but at least is available. And you can then make your plans based on him. Yeah. So, even if you're a Cristiano Ronaldo, you maybe a star, but then there reaches a point where the coach makes you sit on the bench and the plans are not around him. They make plans according to the rest of the team and he may come in as a sub towards the end and maybe produce a bit of magic. But you have to go forward and I think that is the larger thing with, again, it's not his fault. It's just his action and the kind of workload that he has. So for test cricket's sake, you'll have to look beyond him. I don't know whether you can use him sporadically once in a while for some series, but then how, again, the same thing, 5 match, can't play all. What do you make those changes? And you've seen it this time, every time he's been on and off, it's not really helped this Indian team. He's not been there, they've really stepped up overall. And for his sake, his performance also keeps coming down. I don't think he's again, it's not about pace, but I don't think, especially in these kind of pitches, I don't think he's a bowler who can bowl 25 overs in an innings. Why? Because you are yourself reducing his effectiveness, his potency. He's not that bowler. Unfortunately not. In 4 overs, he'll do magic. In T20 cricket, in ODI cricket, he'll do magic as and when he comes. But over a period of 25 overs, I don't know. Unless you come up with a situation that, there has to be a sort of a
minimum threshold. Maximum threshold.
Each innings, no more than 12 overs or something like that. You'll have to go like that and then maybe. Otherwise, I don't see him. And I think this series should serve as that reminder that you may have to think about what is it that Jasprit Bumrah needs to do. But one other big takeaway is that we're getting to know that no decision has been made. But what is so important? I thought he's going to show me something which is important. He showed me the most cliche thing. No decision has been made on whether Jasprit Bumrah. It's like saying no decision has been made whether we'll play Kuldeep Yadav in the final test match or not. No decision. This is what else do you hear from the team? Yeah, that is what has been told in the press conference. Shivam wants me to remind you, but you will be no wiser by listening to this, then no decision has been made.
I think the biggest, the one more takeaway before Nikhil comes to us, I think the fight and the grit and the determination were probably fueled by Rishabh Pant coming out to bat with that fractured toe. And you showed, boss, I am ready to fight. Do you have it in you to do it in the 4th innings?
It's interesting. Who knows? I know there's no direct relation, but I won't be surprised. While Rishabh's 13, 17 odd runs that he contributed with the bat seems so minuscule in the larger scheme of things. But I think the impact that it might have had on the entire Indian team, it is going to be massive. Because what explains the fact that the same Indian team that looked vulnerable in the first innings to that extent, and I'm guessing the batting conditions, as we saw with Shubman getting hit and up and down bounce, showed this kind of determination. I think it just spreads like wildfire within the team. That you saw Rishabh Pant, who refused, by the way, to wear a fracture. So he's fractured his toe, which we know, but he said, I will not wear a fracture now, because as soon as I wear a fracture, then I can't be wearing my shoe. So he said, I'll wear a fracture, but let's wear it after the test match. For now, just keep icing it, and he needs to continuously ice it, because if he stops it, then it'll become big and then he can't wear a shoe. And he's not even got a cast in that can keep the swelling in check. So he's actually gone through this situation where on that day also he said, okay, no cast because I'll have to wear shoes and go out and bat. And then I may be needed again for the second inning, so no cast. Imagine he's fractured, so he's waiting for this test match to end. Now my point is, this is the story that we've gotten to know, but imagine his teammates are living it and they're seeing it, and then they see that determination of him going out. And also when he goes out, he's not just trying to just be there for the heck of it, swinging his bat or no. He's saying, okay, I'll stand, I'll fight it out. I'll if you want me to extend the batting a bit longer, I'm going to do it. I'm sure that has had an effect. I'm sure. Okay, you can talk about Jaiswal and Sudarshan getting out, but that's like right the beginning, one tough delivery that you get, or some seeming conditions you take an edge. But every time you've got your eye in, the batters have showed that they're ready for a fight and they're ready to dig their heels in. And I have a feeling that a lot has to do with how Rishabh Pant.
It lit the fire.
Yeah.
And I think most of the inspiration that maybe Sundar and Jadeja would have gotten is to make sure that Rishabh Pant does not come out to bat again, because you don't want your batter to be in so much pain, still being there, grinding it out for the team. Let's say, there could have been a situation where India would have been really in trouble to save this test match. So I think that's where maybe the inspiration would have also come from, because Rishabh Pant in the last 6 to 7 years or so, he has been the pillar of your middle order. He has done, the job for you, not just at home, but in overseas conditions also. And I think to do it for him would have been the bigger inspiration for that matter.
And getting back to my two other big takeaways, I am in agreement. I think KL Rahul and Shubman Gill are my two other big takeaways. In KL Rahul's case, I know some people might find it a bit awkward, but I will stick my neck out and say, even though Shubman Gill is the highest run getter for India in this series, for me, the best batter of the series has been KL Rahul.
Plus 2.
Plus 2. And I say that because in tough conditions, he's put his hand up. Lords where
100 in
he's got 100 where everyone else was struggling. So he's really come of age, and I think for a guy who's been an honest guy in that sense, tried to put his best foot forward, where he's agreed to go up and down in the batting order, wicket keeping. I was listening to some stories as well from within the Indian team, and no matter what you tell him to do, Hemang Badani I was listening to, and he was saying that he worked with him in previously as well, so at the domestic level, and he was like, he's that one guy, no matter what you ask of him, he's and I mean quite recently at Delhi Capitals, so he was saying anything you ask him to do, wicket keeping, batting, go opener, middle order, whatever, he just says fine. And there are not a lot of players, and to that extent, he's still a slightly more established player. So KL does it. So he's a nice guy in that sense. That's what I get to hear from a lot of people. So I think sometime it was unfortunate for him also, and some blame he also needs to take. With some good starts, never really lived up to that billing. But I'm so happy that this is that tour which will become one career-defining tour for him, where he will now at least get a consistent run for the next good 3-4 years, I think, that he has in him to play test cricket. So this will be that series where now he doesn't have to think about where I'll do or how I have to contribute, do I have to keep or whatever. Now he can be your established opener. So that's one big takeaway. And of course Shubman Gill, as I said earlier in the lunchtime show, for me this is coming of age knock by Shubman Gill. Again, many people might find it odd that after 31 test matches you're saying coming of age, boy becoming a man. But quite honestly, he's still a young guy. And quite honestly, he, in a lot of places, he was untested in a few tough batting conditions. So he stepped out today, getting hit on the hand, that went and hit his helmet. But after that, he showed that he's right up there. He's going to bat. He's not going to back down. And I think it's also answered everyone who came up with these theories that, mentally he's fried because of that whole banter with Zach Crawley, Ben Stokes, the entire English team. They came on him. He's soft in that way. He's no Virat Kohli. He's going to buckle down. He'll have a bad series. He's turned it around the second. So what it's telling you is that mentally also, he may be much quieter and a very different personality to a Virat, but he's shown that, that has really not necessarily had a major impact on that. And that actually takes me to a very interesting question, and I don't know what you guys make of it. There's a journalist, Khurram Habib, he's been
we have worked with him.
Yeah, you guys have worked with him. So I actually put that tweet out about Shubman coming of age. He actually quoted my tweet and put out that, and he put in an idea, and it's interesting, you guys. So he said, when I said coming of age of Shubman Gill, the test batter, he quoted the tweet and put a tweet out saying, how about then allowing him, and I also, just to add to why I think it's coming of age, I think this is for the very first time he's kind of shown you that he's a 70-80 test match batter. Yeah. Now, if you had any doubts, will he, do justice to his talent? I think if he plays anything less than 80 test matches for India, he'll do a great injustice to his talent. Possibly even a 100 test match batter. He's looking to me like that. So he had a suggestion. He said, so how about just letting us concentrate on this batting of his and make KL the captain, so that you can keep getting the best out of Shubman.
I think KL Rahul is done with captaincy thing now. He
Yeah.
doesn't aspire to be the captain. So was the case with Delhi Capitals also. I think when he was picked by Delhi Capitals, we all were, I think, predicting that he could be the next captain. He could be the next captain. But it's great that, it's Akshar Patel was there. KL Rahul, ever since, he has been relieved of the burden of this captaincy, I think he has been a different batter. Even in ODI cricket also, he's turned out to be a great finisher. Even in Test cricket now, with the clarity that he has gotten about his batting position, let KL Rahul be now. Let him be the senior member of the team. Let him be a part of the.
He's quite the fulcrum.
Let him be a part of the leadership group. Assuming there are any injuries or so, he can obviously step in as the captain. I think he was the vice captain in this match when Rishabh Pant really got injured. He, I think, was very close to taking a DRS call also, because Shubman Gill wasn't there on the field for a few minutes. I think let KL Rahul be. Let him be your best batter in both Test and ODI format. And I think even he did well in IPL also. So who knows? He could be a part of the Asia Cup too as a backup wicketkeeper.
Yeah, I mean, when was the last time an Indian captain did not contribute with the bat because of his captaincy? Was there a prolonged slump with him when you look at it? I mean, he had to have a consistent run as a captain. Say minimum of 20-30 matches. Which was the last time you saw an Indian captain struggle for runs?
Sachin?
No, even Sachin had a decent time as a batter.
But Sachin
captaincy was not.
Sachin was never a good captain.
Yeah.
I mean,
Tactics wise, he was bad, but I think batting, there was no problem with
Rahul
him.
bad.
Dravid had a dip.
he was not bad. I mean, people quite often said that he overthought things. So I'm not saying bad.
No, even Dravid never had a bad run as a batter, as a captain.
The best explanation about Sachin Tendulkar, the captain, I think I heard from someone was that Sachin is a genius and he expected genius things
Yeah,
out of his team
very true.
also.
Yeah.
And again, why I'm
That's the
saying
point.
that? Not that I heard this definition, but now that you say it, I know certain people who were part of that setup while he was captain, and that is exactly what some of them said who were within the team, and they said that he was not happy with the kind of contributions or the performances, and that took a toll on him. So when you start taking everything so seriously, and then there is you kind of stop giving that much importance to your primary skill, which is your batting, because you're so consumed by ensuring everything else is right. And then mentally also sometimes you get bogged down when you're feeling okay, I'm performing at this level, why is everyone not doing it? So I think that is something that he actually went through. That is the truth.
Because see, this is his first series, away series. He's already nearing 800 runs.
Yeah.
Now, in the Kohli and the Rohit era, you didn't see a dip in the beginning. You saw it at the fag end.
Yeah.
Virat had a dip towards the fag end. Rohit also, fag end. Plus, Gill's got age on his side.
He's just 25.
25.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You-
No. I just said that as a suggestion of someone who did. Not that I subscribe to it. For me as well, Shubman Gill, the captain, you've just made him captain, and he's doing well with the bat. I know there have been issues with him tactically, but that's how he learned. So there's no way that I'm.
See, I
beyond
like
him.
the suggestion, obviously, by Khurram. I really like it. But, it's after a long time that KL Rahul has started to feel at home. Let's not disturb him. Let's persist with Shubman Gill. It's very early days of his captaincy. I think he'll get better. It's as
And
simple as that.
anyways, I mean, if you want KL Rahul as the captain, hasn't he fallen way behind? You'll either have a Rishabh Pant as a backup captain. If push comes to shove, then you'll have a Jasprit. But then I don't think KL Rahul is there in the leadership skill.
Not really. If Jasprit is not even playing all matches, how come he can be the vice captain?
Exactly. But then see, that's why I said, a Pant. That's your next leadership option.
No, Pant, again, in test matches, there's no doubt about his position. And again, I've heard from people involved with him, I mentioned it previously, he's quite a sharp captain. And multiple people who worked with him as captain have told me, very, very sharp captain.
Okay, so that's why I don't think you will have to worry about Gill that much. But yes, if there is a batting dip that he has, then I think you have to.
So basically, what Shivam is showing us is that Ben Stokes refused to shake Ravindra Jadeja's hand after the game got done. Because Jadeja, because they did not take the handshake.
I think that's too much from Stokes.
Even I think that's too much.
Yeah,
While I agree. I mean, okay, let's put both stories, and I think he felt a bit insulted because again, it's a very difference in culture, right? He felt a bit insulted that as a captain, when I offer my hand, that means he
was the bigger man because he went to Jadeja.
Even if he's not bigger, it's like
shake hands.
I think it's a cultural thing where I offer my hand that okay, let's shake hand and call it truce or whatever. The war is done, ceasefire or whatever way you look at it, you do, and then you say no, I won't. It's just in some places it can be taken amiss and can be taken as an insult. I'm not denying that at all. But you also got to understand from where Jadeja and Sundar were coming. They don't get too many chances to get to that, and they wanted to get it. I don't think there was any bad feeling or malice from their part. I think they wanted to do it, but I don't think Stokes has taken it that way. And as I said earlier, probably England would have taken it because for them, I think, again, it's a very different in culture. I'm not saying one is right or wrong. If I put India in that place, let's say an Indian captain had offered and the player said, no, I want to get 200. I don't think an Indian captain would have taken it as an insult. Okay, but an English captain does. And if I change the position, an Indian batter wanting to get his 100, there's nothing wrong for him. But an England player probably would have shaken hands and not taken the 100 and respected that handshake. Again, this is very different outlook or how you see things.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe later on they might have shook hands.
But it doesn't matter. Later, but this is at the ground, right?
But this is rich. This is rich. I mean, I don't know why England are so obsessed with the fact that I refuse to draw because I have a right for a milestone.
No, you're right. But it's again, how do I explain it? It may be tough for some of us to understand. Maybe it's like I'm offering a hand, a handshake, and you turn it down for whatever reason. In certain cultures, it's not taken very lightly. It's an insult. Like I gave my hand up. Oh, let's shake it. Let's shake on that, and you say no. It's just taken as an insult. I'm giving benefit of the doubt to both teams. India also, in India's case, it wouldn't have been taken as an insult. The Indian captain would have said, okay, fine, you want to get to 100? Sure, I just offered. If you want to draw, you don't want to go ahead. But in their case, and so I have a feeling if they had batters in 90, they would have had to shake because it's more of a no, it is the right thing to do. I have to shake hands. So let that milestone be on the side. Again, nobody is right, nobody is wrong. It's how you look at a particular situation.
With England, I have my doubts because see, they conveniently do these kind of things. When some others do it, they cry spirit of the game.
No, it's again, that's what it's
cultural clash of cultures.
It's like I'm just saying, it's like there is a fight. I'm not talking of any particular instance in general. But let's say if I had to, I'm from a different country, and if I had to sledge and use a profanity involving your family members, mother, sister, whatever, if I say that, I mean, you're an Indian, you're not going to take that well. It would not go down well with you, right? Now, if I had to do it with somebody person from a different, I'm not saying they take it well, but the degree of offense taken would be different. Now turn it around, and I passed a comment about how you're looking, or what you're saying, or about your skin color or anything like that. Maybe there is a possibility that we are more sensitized to it. You're taking it easy, and somebody else takes that with much more offense. Again, both are wrong things, but one you'd still say, okay, it's in the heat of the battle, these things are said, I'll take it. But you'll say, no, this thing, how did you say? This you can't even mention in heat of battle. And for me, it can be exactly opposite. I'll say, okay, this thing you've said, fine, in the heat of the battle, it happens, but how dare you say this? This you cannot say. This is a no-go, no area.
I mean, see, again with England, I go back to Lord's 2023 Ashes. what Alex Carey,
Johnny Bairstow.
Yeah. What Alex Carey did was within the rules and they were right. But England suddenly decided, oh, it's going against the spirit of the game.
They cried.
It's
as simple.
And
I very rarely do I take England's side, but that I thought was...
oh, come on.
No,
The proof was in the pudding.
No, he was not trying to gain any unfair advantage. Come on, let's be honest.
But
He was not.
He
was not.
The ball wasn't dead. He had no right to wander out.
Yeah, but he came back and then he went. It's fine.
The ball wasn't dead. It's as simple
I
as
agree.
that.
Now you're going into technicality. That's what my point is. He's not trying to gain any unfair advantage. He's not trying to go for a run. I agree that you're going for a run. You're trekking now. He's just going to talk to his partner. I'm just saying, it's like, I will go with that. Like that whole IND thing. You know,
Yeah,
they're
that
defending.
obstructing the field.
My point is that in no way, he just did it because he didn't realize what was happening. Was he trying to gain any advantage? Was he really out of his crease and he could have been out and things like that? None of it was there.
But Bairstow did the same thing to Marnus Labuschagne and he said, I would have done it.
So even that is wrong.
So when it's like pot calling kettle black. And Australia were trying for 2 years prior to that to get Johnny Bairstow out in a similar way. You remember Melbourne? Boland got him LBW. He wandered out of the crease. Steve Smith had a throw from the slips. It missed. Otherwise, he was out there also. Which is why I see, as I have said, England can cry around the spirit of the game when it conveniently suits them. But I've seen far too much from Ben Stokes and the England cricket team that this is again a charade that they're putting on. And they are going to get something from this. It's a charade. Nothing was there to suggest that I won't take a draw. And I agree with Sunny. Why not? Why couldn't you have batted under 10 overs? Frustrated them so much that they lose distraction and they lose focus for oval. It would have fried them mentally to such an extent. And then when they got to their hundreds, they said, "Theek hai." But they should have batted the whole 10 overs. It would have at least increased their blood pressure even more. Why not? But this is going to be some unnecessary controversy that will be brewed up. Oh, how dare you not shake hands? If you're echoing that, then you're a bona fide Brit, my friend. I mean, there is nothing in that sense. You shouldn't take them seriously.
But I'll tell you, this will blow up,
Yes,
thing.
it will.
This will be the big talking point. Anyway, there's been sparks flying. And there was suggestion by Harry Brook that they're scared of our batting. That's why they kept piling on 650 run and things like that. So that's also irked the team. There's a lot of context to it, and then grow some and all of that. So it's added on. No wonder they were also being a bit tongue in cheek. I told you, on Stump Camp, players were saying, "Oh, so how much do you need? Another hour to get to your 100 and things like that." When he said, "No, I want to bat."
See, Harry Brook will follow Ollie Robinson's tradition of being a fiction writer, I'm telling you. He will do a great job. He will follow it up in that sense. So, less said about England's whining and groaning and moaning and all of those kind of things. I really don't know. But see, you can't take England seriously when it comes to spirit of the game. Honestly.
Deepti Sharma, Charlie Dean, best example. Nasir Hussain, the way he changed the narrative, I was like, what is he saying? It's as simple as that.
You can't go out of the crease by even a nanosecond. You can't. That's why he was stumped. Not run out. He was stumped. So that's the thing. Australians, I thought, don't wander out of your crease. England, they don't. They just don't follow the rules. As simple as that. So.
Okay. Let's get down. Oh no, there's Shubman Gill. Oh my God.
Yeah. Okay.
India batted twice. England batted only once. Me as a gully cricketer, I see this as an absolute.
Yeah. It's like.
That's why you could have got them also to bat.
But what good would it have done? I
Nothing.
don't know. Yeah. Let's go ahead. And Ben Stokes, when he realized that Sir Viv Siraj is yet to bat.
Offering the handshake.
Offering the handshake. No. Not
Yeah,
fun.
Lord had also to come.
Lord was there first.
I'm sure Lord was going to bat ahead of Pant.
Absolutely. Yeah. Pant would have batted if needed.
I mean, he would have come ahead of a Bumrah, Siraj, and all of that.
Yeah.
Anshul, I guess.
Yes. But believe in Washi and Jaddu.
But Anshul, I think that experiment is done for the next 6 to 8 months at least.
We will see. We have tomorrow, day after.
Yes.
A lot of time.
Jadeja and Sundar making sure Pant gets rest.
Yeah, this is great.
Yeah.
That's true. But Pant out of the series you saw.
You know what I like about this image? How cute is Pant?
Pant, yeah, I know.
Like a little baby, he's sleeping.
Yeah. Man, oh man.
Like a छोटा सा infant.
Infant Pant, yeah. Superimposed perfectly. Yes. But a baby with a beard. Let's go ahead. Yeah. Tere Naam and Sayyara. VVS Lakshman, Rahul Dravid, Washington Sundar and Ravindra Jadeja. Nah. No comparisons at all here. Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely no comparison.
Let's move on.
Team India, ये draw जीत से कम है के मारी चोरी चोरों से कम ना है. Okay, from Dangal. Oh boy, go ahead. बाबू भैया हम बच गए. Gill and Gambhir right now. बाबू भैया हम बच गए. Nice
one, Shivam.
Nice.
Liam Dawson, 47 overs.
इसे इंडिविजुअल फिगर क्यों बोलते हैं? एक पूरा ओडीआई घोषित क्यों नहीं कर देते? 47
But
overs.
I mean, I just want to point out to this individual, you could have made similar things of a few Indian bowlers as well. If you wanted to make an ODI.
Yeah.
I know.
But you're cherry picking, very smartly.
Very much so. रोज उठो, लोअर ऑर्डर की दीवार बनो, तलवार चलाओ, सो जाओ. That is Jaddu in a nutshell.
Bowling. You need good bowling.
But batter, he's again, I mean, biggest takeaway. Your best lower middle order batter currently. Go ahead. Doctor, so where does it hurt? Ben Stokes. Everywhere.
Ankle, shoulder, back, lower back, knee, brain.
Everywhere. With this, it's hurting here also for him. It is. Go ahead.
Yeah, but can I be honest? You're making fun of whatever Stokes did, but
But he's the man of the match for the second straight
Clutch.
test.
Yeah.
Clutch.
He's
break,
a clutch guy.
accelerator.
Yeah.
he's stood up. He's really stood up. He's played his heart out.
Yeah.
This is, of course,
The continuous banter that goes on. So
these two.
full-fledged series between Michael Vaughan and Wasim Jafar. Full-fledged. Yeah. Hi, Michael. Hope you're okay. Game to finish today for that response. Go ahead. Why are they not shaking hands and accepting draw soon?
the West Australia.
No, this is from the Ashes that they had.
Yeah.
Of course, I mean,
Ashes.
see, when it comes to the Ashes, we know who is in the right and who is in the
But again, I think this is yellow journalism. This is tabloid at its best. You may agree, disagree.
Didn't we see it in the BGT also?
This is,
Kohli.
Constas and Kohli.
Qantas.
Hey, Qantas has not been the same since here. 8 average. Okay, most centuries by captain in Test series, Bradman, Gavaskar, Shubman Gill. Legends में नया हूँ, bag कहाँ रखूँ? Legends, this thing, World Championship Legends. Yeah. Oh, miracle.
Welcome.
Is it Gambhir?
Yeah.
Akshay Kumar.
Akshay Kumar in that, yeah. Oh boy.
God realized Rajni sir is getting old, so he created Sir Ravi Jadeja. This is actually a tweet by MS Dhoni.
2013, I guess.
When he
trend,
that
was
Sir
there
Jadeja trend.
Sir
So
Jadeja
once in a
trend.
while he would come up with these Sir Jadeja.
I think it was 2013 if I'm not mistaken.
when he was slightly more
Champions
active.
Trophy win, yeah.
Yeah.
No, he used to do a few jokes like Sir Jadeja jokes.
Sir Jadeja, yes. Indeed.
Shivam Giri is done.
Yes.
Thank you for bringing a smile to our face.
Yeah. Sharan is like saying, what a performance by team. They have just grounded England bowlers down. Hope we win next test and draw the series. Gulati, congrats to you too.
Sharan
Congratulations
tells
to
you
you too. Reverse jinx.
That's...
T show, he was like, no, keep your higher percentage of England only. Draw lower. India will do the job.
Amit Utkarsh says, hello guys, I think India should have declared and asked them to bat for some small time. English would have been really angry. could this have been possible? Amit, I did ask my two esteemed colleagues this question. They said no, it wouldn't have served any purpose.
Your executioners themselves can't dish out
You
hell.
already handed them a mental blow. It's as simple as that.
Lagavulin speaks.
From the US is saying, what happens is Oval is for another day. This is what fans who religiously follow India and Test cricket want. Salute Gill, KL, Jadwin, Washi, you make us proud.
Literally, yeah.
Completely agree. +1.
Although I am not in that category.
You're not feeling proud.
No.
Why?
I'm looking at the broader picture.
Same, yeah. +1 to what
I'm not
else?
proud.
I'm
You are in this position because Gill, the captain, and his bowlers failed you.
Yeah, okay. There are so many mistakes that England also made. You would probably would have been in worse position if they had not dropped catches. Gill would have been out. Those are ifs and buts of cricket. At the end of the day, can't take the credit away.
Whatever happens at the Oval, okay, fine.
You were announcing tea since yesterday game would be ending. It's not, nah. They've done something special, whatever said and done. You didn't expect them to do it. Why won't you praise them for it?
Because I can't look at just this one particular situation.
That's fine.
I'm looking at a broader picture. That's why.
Mutton Biryani has a comment
Ouch.
that though I felt it's disrespect to Stokes and Root, not the other 9, but then I remembered how much Archer was abusing after getting rid of Pant and Washington Sundar in Lord's Test. Plus England would have done the same what Jadeja and Washington Sundar did.
I don't agree with the last bit. I think England would have. And by the way, in terms of what Archer did, I think it wasn't really quite different to what some of the Indian bowlers were also doing.
Of course.
Yeah. I mean,
But here, Archer did calculated aggression. Siraj, once he did something right, he overstepped it. That's the problem. Lavagulin speaks again from the US is saying, if batters have toiled for 3 sessions when England were thirsty for wickets, then they should leave field when they want if they are out. England were crybabies. Totally agree. What happened in the last 15-20 minutes summed up England ever since time immemorial. They are like that. Praneet Datta is crying aloud on the field. I could see some English players crying in the end. Abysmal attitude. What a fight by young India reminded me of GG in NZ.
Napier.
Yep.
I mean, just to literally answer your question, is crying aloud on the field? Of course it is.
Of course.
I mean, technically,
Yeah.
you can. You can laugh, cry, scream, whatever you want.
Yeah.
Rakesh Bhushan has a comment that bad visuals in the last 15 minutes. Indians prioritize personal milestones. That's their culture. This is the reason Dravid declaration of Tendulkar when he was
Multan,
94.
I think this is a
It's still
larger
being
debate.
talked.
Yeah.
I mean, Rakesh, it's an interesting point of view. It's a larger debate that we can have. But we tried to sum it in as many words or in a concise manner as we could. Right at the start of our show and I think 10 minutes ago as well. Twice we've tackled that subject in as brief a time as I could. But yeah, it's a much larger
It is.
debate that can be spoken about in a much larger canvas. I mean, but the one thing that while we can agree and disagree on various other factors, whether it's part of the culture, India is right, England is right. One thing all of us are in agreement with is that those visuals in the last 15 odd minutes, what was happening just didn't feel good. It wasn't good. That's it.
Yep.
I'm not blaming any one particular team for it. I'm just saying such a good test match.
Blame it on the situation. That's it.
Fighting tooth and nail, and then last 15 minutes you're just making a
Anticlimactic,
mockery of it. It was making a mockery of it.
Yep. Sayam Chandra, only channel where genuine discussion happens. Thank you so much,
Thank
Sayam
you so
Chandra.
much.
We will always strive to do that and we shall do it continuously. Rakesh Bhushan, lower order scoring runs, collective failure of top orders. This substantiates GG in dropping Kuldeep. Indians are not repairing their core problem, looking at justifying them. That's the problem.
That's what
I think you're only looking at 2 wins and 2 draws. You're not looking at the 5 losses.
Exactly.
Honestly, you aren't.
But
Naveen Narayana.
I think that's still the discussion that obviously we had. You still feel that India are missing the broader picture. but I feel that there have been some improvements. But the best time to answer this question would be after the Oval Test. Naveen Narain has a point that India have done all the hard yards and hard work, and they have all the right in the universe to feast and cherish that hard work in the form of 100 for Jadeja in Washington.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, that's
absolutely
valid
do.
point. Valid point.
Ashish Dhar, well played India. I hope some analysts will not say what's the big deal. India were lucky to escape. Pitch was flat. England bowlers were unlucky.
Yeah, you batted out for almost 150 odd overs. That's almost 2 days of batting.
Yeah.
How can you say that India were lucky to miss out? It's lucky to
he's saying
draw this test.
Hope, as some analysts will not say. I hope some analysts will not say what's the big deal.
That's what I'm referring to.
Yeah.
I'm sure that some analysts will say this thing. I'm not pointing at Ashish here. The only question is, you cannot be lucky when you bat for about 150 odd overs.
You showed grit. You showed determination.
And there was a lot of grit and determination this time around.
Yep. Fast and curious. Dear Nixer and Sidji, since the milestone of Judd and Washi was not having any impact on our team's result, they completely deserved it, even if it required them to bat till the last over. Absolutely.
And that's absolutely fine. Like, we all can agree to disagree. You also make a valid point, and Nikhil and I are also seeing it from a different perspective.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I am of the opinion that they should have batted all the 10 overs.
And nothing wrong with it.
Nothing wrong, exactly. Because as long as result is not impacted, you can go for your milestones.
Yeah.
Dibyankata Mishra is saying, as the pitch similar to subcontinent, why doesn't team management select Sarfaraz? It felt so unfair to the guy who built his reputation Ranji, not an IPL. Jurel and Sarfaraz should consider before Sai.
There's one more name that we are missing out here. Shreyas Iyer. He also did extremely well in Ranji Trophy.
One more name. Abhimanyu Ishwar.
Abhimanyu Ishwar is part of the squad.
He's part of the squad.
And
so
more than likely he'll not get a game in Oval also. Yeah. That's not happening. Daniel has a comment that great save by India, just 24 wickets in 5 days. Test cricket becomes tough to watch on England pitches now. Score following is easy. Watching BGT was more fun.
Exactly.
BGT at least had more competitive pitches.
You had equal contest between bat and ball. Here there is nothing. 24 wickets, I'm okay. If 24 wickets had fallen across 5 days in India, won't the same Western analysts then say, oh, it was a turgid wicket, yaar. It doesn't deserve to host a test match in that particular venue. 24 wickets in Old Trafford. Wasn't that turgid? I just don't know what to make about it. Ashish Dhar, Jasprit Bumrah thrilled with result, be motivated to play Oval.
I don't think that's happening. It was pre-decided that he's going to play 3 matches. He's played it first, third and fourth test. So, and even there's a short turnaround.
Niyat not happening.
It doesn't matter whether... I think you should not let it happen also.
Yeah, correct.
Because you see the effectiveness has come down. What's the point?
A big 10-kilometer drop in his pace.
And unfortunately for him, even 7 to 8 to 9 days are not enough for recovery. They're just about 3 days between 2 test matches. Yep. What are you trying to achieve? And in the process of trying to squeeze him of the last ounce of energy that he has, you're going to do long-term damage. It's happened once before. Yep. Short-term damage is maybe to the test match, but long-term damage as well.
Yeah. Jai Krishnan AC is saying, Indians never forego century. Sachin still has a grudge against Trafford.
I mean, that's why I said it's a larger debate that we can have.
I love mutton biryani. These 2 away series in Australia and England are the only 5 away test series till 2028. He played 8. Well done, Bumrah. In subcontinent, play him less. His retirement talks ludicrous, plus no Indian pacer. Pacer will be fit for all 5.
Except Mohammad Siraj.
Yeah.
It's a large heart.
Yes, is it?
Chili Paneer has a comment that Nikhil defending England antics is not that on. Okay, that's fine.
Did I defend their antics? I just gave 2 sides of the coin. But then that's the problem in this day and age where, everyone, and that I see in social media, and I see it with mostly the younger generation, young kids. Maybe this is the times that they're born, and I'm not just talking about cricket in general. It is, if you say an opinion which is not in line with what they want, then there is no sensibility or knowledge that you can even look at the other side or debate or even try and grasp. Like I remember growing up and there were different things that probably I actually tried to understand it, and there was never this that you don't know, I know this, you're a peddler, PR agent, whatever. That's a part. Now that I'm saying, if you express an opinion, if you sometime even just show a picture of how it is, there is no nuance left. Like, this is what they must be thinking. No, don't say that. So it's a sign of the times, I think, we live in. And I sometimes feel sorry for newer generation. I guess, I don't know. In maybe school, colleges, we were taught very differently.
Yeah, I know.
And thankfully, there was no social media. I guess that really
Thankfully,
helped.
yes.
That really helped. So
that really helped, yep.
So you were always...
people-to-people communication.
Correct. You were always not like, I know everything. You would be like, okay, I want to know. Okay, this is also interesting. And somebody else says, I would find that also interesting. And I would see things from all angles.
Absolutely.
But that helps you grow and understand things.
Ashish Dar, Stokes like Paresh Rawal in Swarg. Thappad ka
Have you
jawab.
watched the movie?
I watched Swarg. Govinda
Swarg I've
Rajesh
seen,
Khanna.
yeah. Who is Paresh Rawal in that?
He's that Dhanraj, no? Seth Dhanraj.
Of course, Govinda is outstanding. For anyone who thinks Govinda was just a comic actor or comedian, you have to see him in this.
In Swarg.
Yeah.
Is it the same movie in which Jitendra was also?
No. Rajesh Khanna.
That
He's
is
Khudgars.
In which he's a Bawarchi, if I'm not wrong.
Bawarchi?
I don't know.
No.
I think
Bawarchi is hero number 1. Yaar.
Okay. Then I've got it wrong. Okay.
Yeah. Govinda.
Jitendra is
Khudgars.
where Govinda is also.
Govinda Neelam, that epic song.
Shatrughan Sinha.
Yeah. Pranit Datta, they won us the match. They deserve to get 100. Absolutely.
Okay, fine.
Absolutely, they deserved it. So that's why I don't know why this whole situation has developed. So is that it? More comments, please?
Last couple of comments before we wind up.
Yeah.
How can India go with 7 batters as all of our batters are in good form, including 2 all-rounders? Remove Shardul and bring in Kuldeep. Play 3 spinners. There's always first time for everything, is Naveen narrating.
But 3 spinners in an away situation in Oval. Are we playing at Oval or Indore?
Your bowling coach recently said one thing, that you are playing 6 bowlers. It's tough for the captain to manage. Now you go with 3 spinners and 3 pacers. How do you manage them?
So Aaron De Silva has a different suggestion. Similar thing, different suggestion. He's saying, then can we play 4 frontline fast bowler if you have 2 spinners?
Yeah, you can.
Oh, in fact, we had been saying that from the start only. But Indian team is saying no.
Yes.
But then it would reduce your batting to 7. That's the point.
Singularity.
Yep. Sky keeps stump mic feed on for viewers. Washi was getting so much chirp early on and fought through. This boy has some stuff.
True.
He has.
He has a lot of grit and determination.
There was another question there saying, how about looking at Washington as number 3?
Official yesterday saying. That could provide that extra batting cushion. Something, gone.
Down.
That one only, yeah. That could provide extra batting cushion. Something we have already seen work effectively at the Gaba, the MCG and now at home. Where did it work?
Gabba at number 3, it was Chiteshwar Pujara, if you're talking about 2021.
I don't know. Where it has given us the success, I don't know.
Yeah.
Vedang Kumar Trivedi saying, sorry to say, but you're saying that it's not necessity for Sundar to score century, but at least you guys only say he has this many centuries in all.
No, he's saying that at one point you're saying not necessary. And then when you sometime analyze, you say, oh, look at how many hundreds he has and things like that. But we also look at averages. And a lot of knocks you remember, which are not hundreds, and we do mention, like for example, you would have seen every time we've mentioned Gill and his record in Senna, we do mention Gaba. That was not 100.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yes, we look at 100 sometimes, but we look at 90s and gritty knocks too. Not always.
Indeed.
Okay. Prakash V is also asking, was she at 3?
No, please, let's have Sai Sudarshan at number 3 now. Even if he fails in Oval, let's still, have him at number 3.
Because Siddharth is also saying that. Many people going for number 3.
Was she at number 3?
I would not take that. Just
Recency bias, he scores a century, then...
Your 3 has to be an out-and-out batter. I'm not saying Washi can never be that. Maybe if he has multiple knocks like that in different conditions, batting lower, then maybe you could, gamble.
Washi is Ashwin light. Simple.
See, when Rohit
No,
Sharma,
no.
he's a
Batting
better
wise.
batter
Better
than
bat.
Ashwin, yeah.
Better bat.
Come
He
on,
looks
Siddharth.
clearly better bat. I would say clearly with the kind of skill levels that Ashwin had, a much better off spinner. Again, I mean, I'm on the evidence of what we've seen. But in batting, was she clearly the better bat? No doubt.
I even
A
had him
proper
as
bat.
my opener for the Perth test when Rohit wasn't available. I really
My
wanted.
goodness.
Nah, that was just
He's
one
a-
game, nah.
Okay.
Better
yeah.
open
He's
with
a
him.
proper bat. Okay, final comment of the night. This is Mr. Creator saying, if Indian team loses an oval and ends up 1-3, then how will you judge this team? It will be back to square one like BJP?
I don't think most people are viewing this. That will be back to square one. Do you view BGT as back to square one? I don't think so.
No, but this, what do you say? If
Status quo will continue. It won't change. Because see, they will point out certain positives. The management will say that, okay, what if it's 5 losses? So what if it's 6 losses? You've had a Perth, you had an Edgbaston, you had a Manchester where it ended in a draw. So those are the positives. We'll focus on the positives. You don't worry about all that. Losses, wins will happen. It won't change. If it had to change, then you would have had a different approach in England. But that isn't happening.
I think I'll go back to. I don't know whether I can really answer this question very well as of now. I would still want to wait for the Oval Test. But I'll just go back to 2018, maybe just trying to draw a parallel. You lost 4-1, but towards the end, it was Virat Kohli saying that, we had a lot of pressure on England. It was just a low order who bailed them out multiple times, but we played well. The score does not really reflect the kind of fight that India showed. But at the end, what I still remember is that India lost 4-1. So maybe if I have to look at it from this perspective, I think if despite all the fight that India show in Oval or assuming it's a make surrender, I think it's going to be 3-1 and that's how I'm going to look at it. But maybe I'll answer that thing better once the test finishes.
Even if it is 2-2, it will not satisfy a lot of people. Because
no, I
2-2 will
disagree.
satisfy me.
100%.
100% satisfy me.
100%.
Because see,
It's a team in transition, yeah, come on. New captain. Come.
It's a
team
great
in
result.
transition
Electric-
Yeah,
facing
what do you mean? You just had a last over with 2021. You celebrated 2-2, yeah? You were over the moon. One of the finest series. You were singing praises till today. If this is also 2-2, why not?
But again, with that peak team, you underachieved. I don't know where the celebration
Nobody
is
said
coming
that.
from.
Nobody said that about 2021.
Because we didn't meet many people who said like that. Because you are all in the aftermath of the glow of Virat Kohli's brilliant captaincy. But despite his captaincy, brilliant at home, no doubt about it. But overseas, barring Australia, that won 2018-19 series, grossly underwhelming. He didn't win in England at all, a series. He didn't win in South Africa at all. He didn't win in New Zealand at all. So the failures are more than the success.
The team was leading 2-1, no? Under his captaincy.
That's an asterisk of a series. Who won that series? Which captain will claim credit? Virat or Bumrah? I don't know.
Virat, it's a tight series.
But Bumrah, I think, was holding the trophy because he wasn't the captain also in
Bumrah
2022.
was the man of the series also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So captain changed, everything changed. Right?
Chalo, on that note, we're going to take your leave. Thank you very much for your company as always. Another test match comes to an end. 2-1 in favour of England. If you're joining us live right now, do check out the entire video. We've discussed a lot of issues in detail. Give us a like on the video. It means a lot to us. Subscribe to Sports Today. Shivam, our producer, keeps saying that a lot of you join us on a regular basis, but a lot of you are not subscribers. It's free subscription, guys. Come on, where do you get that?
And don't worry, 3 days later is the 5th and the final test. Yeah, exactly. So bye-bye, Nandri, Vanakkam, Shubhratri, Shabba Khair. Eat your vegetables. Don't trouble your mother.
And subscribe to Sports Today.
Stay safe.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.